Big house. And today, it's finally here.
It's big. Everything we do all year for today.
The day you haven't stopped thinking about since the last time you saw them.
All year long. What have you done today to help beat that school up north? What have you done today?
And that's what they are. They're the team up north. We don't like to say the M word. They X out all the M's.
There's not a word to describe how much I hate them. I hate seeing that color red. I hate everything about them.
2 historic programs.
These are the days that bind you together forever.
Consumed by a complicated respect and dislike for the other.
They probably each said good luck and neither one of them meant it. We got a big fight breaking out down on the field.
The greatest rivalry in college football. Known simply as The Game.
All right, welcome to the greatest rivalry in American sports. We are all set for the 114th meeting between the Michigan Wolverines and the 9th-ranked Buckeyes from the Ohio State University. And here come the Wolverines, 8-3 overall, 5-3 in the Big Ten, but still in search of their first signature win of the season. Can they do it against their arch rival? Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, along with my partner, Joel Klatt, and welcome to Ann Arbor. And when it comes to rivalries, there is none bigger than Michigan-Ohio State.
This game really has, always been, but certainly is now the soundtrack to college football. That's why we love it so much. But these 60 minutes for these players really will become some of the most impactful minutes of their entire life. They're going to remember this forever. It's going to be fantastic.
So much on the line, especially for Ohio State. As we take a look at the college football playoff rankings with Miami losing yesterday, Buckeyes may be sitting in the catbird seat.
There's no doubt that was a huge win for Pitt over Miami for the Ohio State Buckeyes. But it's only big if they take care of business here today. They've got to focus on Michigan and this rivalry game.
All right, the Buckeyes come in with a 9-2 record, 7-1 in the Big Ten Conference. We know who their leader is, and it's their senior quarterback, JT Barrett.
Boy, I tell you, when they play well as a team, it's because their quarterback plays very well at his position. This guy against Penn State was dynamic, in particular late. 13-13 in the fourth quarter, brought them back to victory. Now, he turned the ball over too much against Iowa, and therefore they lost the game. For Michigan, on the other hand, there's questions about the quarterback position. John O'Korn likely to start in the depth behind him. There's some concern, so the run game becomes that much more important. In the 8 wins, 230-plus yards on the ground. In the 3 losses, 87 yards on the ground. That's where Michigan has got to win if they're going to stay in this ball game and beat Ohio State.
Let's go downstairs to the All-American girl, Jenny Taft.
Well, Gus, players are always trying to leave their mark on the game. How about Desmond Howard in 91, Coach Harbaugh in 86, guaranteeing a win, and the game of the century in 2006, Ohio State getting that one. That brings us to today, a group of seniors looking to solidify their legacy for Michigan. Maurice Hurst, he told me one of the reasons he came back for a 5th year to beat Ohio State. And how about JT Barrett going for a historic 4th win in this rivalry? He was asked about his legacy. He said he wants to be remembered as a winner, and a 4th win versus Michigan in 2017 would definitely be one to remember.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. And what a beautiful day here in Ann Arbor. Let's take a look at the weather. 47 degrees at kickoff time. It's sunny. It's warm. It's perfect Ohio State, Michigan weather. As we take a look at the series history, Buckeyes have been dominant. As we mentioned, they've won 5 in a row, 12 of the last 13 last year's game. A doozy, 30-27 in double overtime in Columbus. Jim Harbaugh, he played in this game, and he described this game coming into this week. It's fun, exciting, intense, all those things wrapped into one, and it's important. Meanwhile, Urban Meyer commenting on the rivalry. This rivalry's always been a part of my life. I grew up when Woody and Bo were going at it. This game was everything then. There was nothing else. Ohio State won the toss, deferred. Michigan to receive. Blake Hobble will kick it away. Ambry Thomas back deep. Ohio State, Michigan, and we're underway from Ann Arbor. Here's Thomas trying to find his way up the sideline, and he stopped at the 25-yard line. Eric Smith with the tackle on special teams for the Buckeyes. So Michigan takes the field, and when the Wolverines have the football partner, what's the story?
Well, with the questions at the quarterback position, they've got to run the football. This has been a very good running team in the wins, but in the losses, they tend to struggle. They've got to get up to those linebackers, get them blocked like they couldn't last week against Wisconsin. And for Ohio State, those defensive tackles become very important. Tracy Sprinkle and Draymond Jones have got to play great.
On first down, and they run it, giving it to the up back, Khalid Hill, trying to power his way forward. And that's the thing about these Wolverines. They've got some issues with injuries with their running back core.
They do. They've had 3 guys really share the load this year, but Ty Isaac is banged up, probably not available. Karan Higdon and Chris Evans will likely be sharing the load today. They're going to start with Chris Evans, who's been featured in the last couple of games.
So John O'Korn came in against Wisconsin last week when Brandon Peters went out. 2nd and 7 at the 28. And they'll give it around the right side to Evans. And he may have gained a yard on the play. Denzel Ward there to usher him out of bounds.
Well, these are the exact situations that Michigan desperately wanted to avoid. Obvious passing down situations. It's a 3rd and 7. John O'Korn, when he struggles, tends to look at the rush and make decisions way too quick. Part of the reason, well, today he's facing one of the best pass rushers in college football, Nick Bosa, number 97.
O'Korn 2 of 8 for 19 yards last week in their loss to the Badgers. 3rd down and 7 at the 28. Here's O'Korn looking under pressure over the middle and incomplete. He had Tyrone Wheatley open. That one thrown a little bit high. Nick Bosa with pressure, and the Wolverines will have to punt it away.
Well, there's Bosa right in the face of the quarterback, and he was just fading away from this throw just a little bit. Look how they try the misdirection, then Wheatley's wide open. O'Korn's just got to put it on his frame. He's open by about 10 yards in any direction. That's an easy conversion if he hits him in the chest.
Brad Robbins will punt it away. He's standing at the 14-yard line. KJ Hill, a very dangerous return man for Ohio State at the 32. This one angled toward the far side. Caught at the 30. Hill up the sideline, and they'll get out of bounds as he crosses the 40. A 41-yard punt and an 8-yard return. So J.T. Barrett comes on the field for Ohio State. What's the story when the Buckeyes have the rock?
Ever since that loss to Iowa, they have featured the running backs, Mike Weber and J.K. Dobbins. Back-to-back games with 300-plus rush yards as a team. They have been dynamic, and Mike Weber is much more healthy now than he was at the beginning of the year. And for Michigan on defense, Khaleke Hudson, he's been a playmaker. He plays that Viper position that Jabril Peppers played a year ago, and he's come on of late. 16 tackles for loss so far on the season.
So the Bucks with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Dobbins, the freshman running back, standing next to J.T. Barrett. And he'll give it. No, Barrett keeps it, and he's tackled for a loss. Nicely done. Mike McCray knifing in and making the tackle.
Well, Barrett's got to play well, certainly. A lot of that has to do with his ability to run the football, try to create easy 3rd down opportunities. They're behind the chains early.
A loss of 2 on 2nd down. This time they'll run it straight ahead with J.K. Dobbins. And Dobbins will pick up about 3 yards. McCray in on the tackle.
And this is why Michigan's so good on 3rd down. They force you into these longer yardage situations. This is the #1 3rd down defense in America. They like to get after the quarterback with lots of pressure.
3rd down and 9 at the 42. Empty backfield for Barrett. Trying to become the first ever starting quarterback to go 4-0 in the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. Barrett to throw it underneath, caught, but not enough for a 1st down. there on the play defensively. Josh Metellus, Paris Campbell with the reception, and the Buckeyes are 3 and out.
They brought the pressure, and Metellus did a great job of not backing up, didn't give ground. Therefore, he was in perfect position once the pass was caught to come up and make the tackle and force the punt.
Drew Chrisman will come in to punt it away. 33 punts on the season. Donovan Peoples-Jones, a talented freshman out of Detroit, will stand at his own 16. Hand over end kick. Peoples-Jones has it at the 10. Hits the sideline. And finally taken down at the 22. 37-yard punt, 8-yard return. Tough Borland with the tackle on special teams. Coming up, Wolverines with the football on offense for the second time. First down and 10 of the 33. Play action. O'Korn fires, and that one high, incomplete. Intended for Hill, and he was open.
Well, that's a couple of passes now for O'Korn that he has guys open. Great job by the coaching staff getting in the correct formations, seeing the matchup, calling the right plays. O'Korn's got to hit those, and he's got to settle down in this ball game. Look for him in the next few plays to get outside the pocket so they can try to get him somewhat of an easier completion, maybe on the run without those linemen in front of him.
That brings up second down and 10 for John O'Korn and the Michigan offense. Evans in the backfield as the single setback. They'll give it to him. Gets through the hole with room, tries to get outside and does. High stepping first down at midfield, cuts it back inside, and he'll finally fall down inside Buckeye territory. Jordan Fuller with a tackle, but it's a gain of 25.
And the key block here is the tight end, Sean McCune. He's going to come all the way across the formation, and he's the one that gets the outside linebacker. Bang, blocked right there. That's 35, Chris Worley. Evans sees the hole, and then it's just speed and athleticism to the outside. A nice second down play for Michigan, but an even better block from Sean McCune.
Evans became the third Wolverine running back to eclipse 100 yards in his first career game, going for 112 and 2 touchdowns against Hawaii last season. First and 10 at the 43. Out of the offset eye, they give it to Ben Mason, and Mason will cross the line of scrimmage, pick up a couple. Tackled by Jerome Baker, and I tell you, I love this Jerome Baker Jr. from Cleveland.
Jerome Baker is so athletic. 46 tackles on the year. He makes big plays. He had a big interception return against Oklahoma last year when they played in Norman. He was a guy that also picked up that fumble from a Denzel Ward hit against Maryland. This guy just is around the football. He's very athletic, very good on the outside.
Second down and 8 at the 41 after the 2-yard gain. Higdon. Lone setback for the Wolverines. Play fake. O'Korn delivers, and it's caught or incomplete. Sean McCune, the intended receiver, just couldn't dig that one out.
And this ball was right on the money, in particular with good coverage. Fuller was right there. The ball is on the outside, exactly where it needs to be. Quality throw from O'Korn. They got to start making some of these plays in the pass game if they're going to get this defense loosened up and trying to hit them big down the field.
John O'Korn starts the game 0 for 3. Third down and 8 at the 41. Hill, Higdon. Now Hill in motion out of the backfield, lines up as a receiver. O'Korn. Deep. Inside the 15, Zach Gentry, the junior from Albuquerque. That's a 27-yard gain.
Real nice read from O'Korn. There was just one safety, and as Gentry goes up the field, the safety went to the middle of the field, and the corner was just too late, Denzel Ward. That's a great ball from O'Korn. Look at that ball right up high. The only spot to get that for his tight end. He's able to make the play, bring it down for a nice conversion.
Zach Gentry, 6'7", 248. First down after the 27-yard gain. Evans, second man through. Gets to the line of scrimmage and is knocked backwards. And they call the defensive line for Ohio State the Rushman but they can play the run as well.
Well, they're going to need to today. I would argue that it's even more important for them to stop the run. The interior guys like Tracy Sprinkle and Draymond Jones, Mike Hill, all those defensive tackles, they're going to have to play their best game today, because what you want to do is stop that first down and second down run so that you can get to third and obvious and allow those rushmen to get after the quarterback.
A loss of 1, 2nd down and 11. McCune in motion. O'Korn lobs it in the corner. Incomplete. McCune open again. Third open receiver that John O'Korn has missed.
And that was a great concept and great route. Watch as the tight end's going to first go into the flat. There's that flat route, and then McEwen heads back up on the wheel. He totally loses Jerome Baker, the outside linebacker. The ball's on the money. That's an easy 6 and a touchdown. But again, just a touch off from O'Korn, who is having a lot of trouble settling down right now in this game.
3rd down and 11 at the 15. Evans in motion out of the backfield. They look his way. Find him in space. Spinning. First down, Wolverines. What a great second effort by Chris Evans to pick up that first down.
Well, the key tackle he was able to break was Damon Arnett, number 3, and then Damon Webb at the end. You're going to see these defensive backs come in right there. That's number 3, Arnett. He eludes him, and then he's able to just power his way for a first down, and Jim Harbaugh's got to love it. Some effort being shown by his Wolverines right here.
So this drive started at the 23-yard line for Michigan. O'Korn underneath, caught but not enough as Zach Gentry gets close to the original line of scrimmage, as he's brought down by Damon Webb.
Nice tackle there by Damon Webb. Very good coverage, but that's a great play call for Michigan, even if you didn't get into the end zone, because what did it do? It got you back down to that 2-yard line, even on a second down, and now they can lean on that run game. And a guy like Khalid Hill, number 80, also Ben Mason, number 42 in the backfield. This is when they love to hand that little fullback handoff off.
Hill, Mason, the 2 fullbacks in the backfield. They give it to Hill. Tries to push forward. Can he get in? No signal. Touchdown, Wolverines. Play drive, covering 77 yards. Michigan eats up 5 minutes and 46 seconds.
Well, there wasn't a lot of room there, but it was just the second effort. They continued to push and push. And then there's Khalid Hill with that ball just over the goal line for the touchdown. What a great series for Michigan, overcoming some of those missed opportunities from their quarterback.
And it's good. 13 plays, 77 yards. Wolverines eat up 5:46 to take a 7-0 lead over the Buckeyes. John O'Korn leading the Wolverines into the end zone on their second series of the game. Now Ohio State gets it back. And Fogue sends it deep. Weber will get a chance. He'll start from his own 2. And Weber runs into a teammate and is finally taken down as he crosses the 15-yard line. So a first down for Ohio State at their own 17. Dobbins in the backfield with J.T. Barrett. Barrett decides to run it himself. Tries to get outside and is tackled by Mike McCray. That's another tackle for a loss for the Wolverines. And right now the Ohio State offense is sputtering a bit against
them. They are, and when Urban Meyer gets in these situations, he loves to rely on his quarterback. Not a shocking event there that after a couple of poor series, he goes right to a quarterback run and not able to gain positive yardage.
Second down and 11. Barrett will throw it. And Barrett scrambling, throws deep to the sideline, and incomplete. Terry McLaurin had it. but it was knocked out of his hands at the last moment by David Long.
And McLaurin was wide open. Barrett couldn't put as much as he wanted to on this ball, because as he's escaping the pocket, you're going to see the defense. David Long got caught with his eyes in the backfield, but Barrett wasn't able to get that ball all the way down the field. McLaurin was wide open.
Buckeyes need to go to the 27 for a first down. Barrett steps up in the pocket, takes his time, and is sacked. Chase Winovich gets to him, but credit the Michigan secondary with great coverage. Second sack of the first quarter for the Wolverines.
Yeah, that man coverage on the outside was just terrific. You've got David Long. Remember, Lavert Hill back in the lineup. Josh Metellus. They did an excellent job. Maybe got away with a few grabs, but they were able to get to the quarterback because of it.
As Chrisman, 8 yards deep, will send it away. Peoples-Jones back at midfield. And another flag. Peoples-Jones makes the first man miss. Gets down the sideline, cuts it inside, still on the move. And finally, Peoples-Jones, wow! Peoples-Jones down at the 10, but there is a flag. A 42-yard return for Donovan Peoples-Jones on a 46-yard punt.
Holding, kicking team number 18. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Michigan. Timeout.
Defense, here's another funky formation for Michigan.
First down and goal at the 5. Higdon. And he's dragged down inside the 5 at the 3 by Draymond Jones. And now the first quarter has finally come to an end.
Are we sure? Are we all in agreement? I think we are. I think the first quarter has finally ended.
All right. Michigan with 105 yards of offense in the first quarter. Ohio State -6. Second down, goal to the 3-yard line. Khalid Hill, Karan Higdon in the backfield. Higdon in motion. Play fake. Over the middle. Touchdown. McHugh. And Michigan takes a 13-0 lead.
They caught Ohio State with their eyes in the backfield. Check out right here. Eyes are going into the backfield. You're going to have the fake block, and then he's going to extend the play as a wide receiver. Excellent job. Design from the coaching staff, and then execution from the quarterback and tight end.
Quinn Nordine for the extra point. And it's good. 14-0. John O'Corn throws his second touchdown pass of the season. And the Wolverines take a 14-zip lead. And Weber bobbles it and will take a knee in the end zone. First down and 10 of the 39. And Dobbins spinning, and Dobbins picks up the first down. Now that Ohio State offensive line firing off the ball. Hudson with the tackle after a 17-yard gain.
This is what makes J.K. Dobbins so special, is his make-you-miss ability at the second and third level. He had Tyreek Hill in a one-on-one situation. The safety basically spun right off the tackle, gained the first down.
Dobbins, the 4th Buckeye freshman to rush for 1,000 yards, joining Weber, Robert Smith, our colleague, and Maurice Claret. First down and 10 of the 44. Campbell in motion. And Barrett pulls it. And he'll pick up 7, maybe 8 yards on the play. Stopped by Devin Bush and Chase Winovich.
This is a great read. First of all, you're going to get this action, but then the linebacker's going to get blocked by the offensive tackle. So as soon as Barrett sees this defensive end collapse down, he pulls the ball out. You got the block up on the linebacker, and it's a nice game.
Second down and 2. They look far side, and Campbell upended. Lavert Hill with the tackle in space.
Well, Lavert Hill has turned out to be a difference maker. Him not being on the field last week against Wisconsin certainly hurt them. They just weren't the same in coverage. We've seen great coverage so far today, and that was a great second down stop.
So a loss of 1 brings up 3rd down and 3 at the 37.
It's like the same formation they just ran that quarterback keeper on the left side previously.
Barrett runs it, and Barrett breaks a tackle and picks up the 1st down. You are watching the toughness of J.T. Barrett.
And just no panic in him. He's going to meet Rashawn Gary right in the hole, and he just gives him a little spin right there. Great job by Barrett, spinning away from one of the better defenders Michigan has and moving the chains.
J.T. Barrett listed at 6'2", 220. Gary, 6'5", 281. 1st down, Ohio State at the 32. Buckeyes starting to find a rhythm on offense now. Barrett, play action. Steps up, throws, and incomplete. As Khaleke Hudson reached around and knocked that ball down. Ball, the intended receiver.
And also in the pocket, Mo Hurst was the one providing some pressure. Big senior defensive tackle, and it made Barrett kind of scoot up in the pocket. And then great coverage on the backside by Khaleke Hudson out of that Viper position. And Barrett has been under duress, certainly, but he has put together some quality plays here on this drive to be able to extend the drive.
2nd down and 10 at the 32. Barrett. Underneath, and this one caught by K.J. Hill. He's ridden backwards, but a flag on the play.
They're going to get a holding on the defense here. Khaleke Hudson basically tackled Marcus Baugh, the tight end, number 85, as he was trying to get across the middle.
Holding, defense, number 7, 10-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
There's Hudson, number 7. He's going against number 85, Baugh, right in the middle of your screen. And as Baugh's coming across on this over route, he's looking to kind of get a pick. But right there, boy, it looked live more like a hold than it actually was. As Baugh kind of stopped, Hudson actually just kind of ran into the back of him. It certainly wasn't a hold, maybe one that they'd like to have back there, but it does create an automatic 1st down and a big break for the Buckeyes.
Buckeyes now look at a 1st down at the Michigan 22. Dobbins in the backfield with Barrett. Barrett runs it with a lane, and J.T. Barrett stopped by Devin Bush, but he gained 6 on the play.
It has been J.T. Barrett's drive, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
And he needs it. This is exactly Urban Meyer's M.O. It's 14-0 in the game. And where does he go? His quarterback, the senior, the one he trusts. It has been all about 16 on this drive. That's been a tendency of Urban Meyer's all the way back to Alex Smith days at Utah. When he's got a guy he trusts, he's going to lean on him in the big moments. And he's done that so far in this series with J.T. Barrett.
10th play of the drive that started at the Ohio State 25. K.J. Hill now lines up in the backfield with Barrett. Here's J.T. looking. Takes his time. Fires. And almost intercepted. Josh Mattel has had it. He'll have nightmares about that one later on tonight.
He was in coverage on K.J. Hill down the field, and Barrett just overthrows the crossing route. I mean, that's right in his hands. You're not going to get an easier interception than that. Urban Meyer knows that they dodged a bullet as he looks out at his quarterback. Oh, my, what could have been for the Wolverines.
3rd down and 9 at the 21. Barrett. Dancing. Barrett runs it. Barrett. 1st down. Barrett. Touchdown, Ohio State. 21 yards. J.T. Barrett is putting this offense on his shoulders, and the Buckeyes finally on the board.
Well, look at this right side. It's going to break down for J.T. Barrett. and he sees the open grass here, and he's going to take off to his right. He gets Mo Hurst on the inside. Now he's out of there. And then watch the defensive backs from Michigan right there. Number 23, Tyree Kinnell, had a decision to make. Stay with his man or stick with Barrett. He turned around with his man, and Barrett runs for a touchdown.
Sean Nurnberger comes in for the extra point, and it's good. So Ohio State goes on an 11-play, 75-yard drive. They eat up 5:07, 14-7. Barrett's passing numbers have been pedestrian, 413 total yards with just 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. But he's rushed for 353 yards, and now he has his 7th rushing touchdown in this legendary series.
And when you include today 74 passing attempts, 74 rushing attempts, it continues that trend for Urban Meyer quarterbacks in big games.
Thomas picks up the ball, crosses the 15, and Thomas dragged down from behind at the 15-yard line by Justin Hillard. Evans goes in motion. Here's Higdon with running room. Higdon still on the move, and Higdon breaks free and picks up a big one. Damon Webb finally knocks him out of a play, but it's a 36-yard run.
Boy, great block by the center, Patrick Kugler, number 57, and Higdon turned on the Jets on the outside. Watch the center. He's going to come all the way around, pull all the way outside, and then he's going to get the linebacker, Tough Borland. He chops him down. Then it's a one-on-one with Higdon. And right here, boy, did he stay in bounds. It looked like he did, but it was awfully close and gained some extra yards because of it.
Well, they say it's a 22-yard gain instead of 36 because he stepped out of bounds. Michigan with the first down at the 30.
He's certainly out there.
Play fake. O'Korn rolling, sets, in trouble. O'Korn sack. The money man, Sam Hubbard, with the sack. First sack of the game for Ohio State.
Well, O'Korn made one of the cardinal sins. When you roll out and you're outside of the pocket, you can never turn back to the rush. Right there, see how he turns back to the rush? As soon as you don't have a wide receiver that's open, once you're outside of the pocket, throw it 5 yards deep into the stands. That is an enormous mistake from O'Korn and puts him way behind the chains now.
O'Korn delivers, and it's Hill. And Hill taken down at the 31-yard line by Baker.
That's exactly what they were able to do. They got half of it back. Anytime you're well behind the chains, that's the goal for the offense. Now defensively for Ohio State, they're still in a great situation. Obvious passing situation. Got those 4 defensive ends on the field. The Rushman package. You've got number 11, Jalen Holmes. You've got Nick Bosa on the field, Sam Hubbard, as well as Tyquan Lewis to try to get after the passer.
Third down and 10 at the 30. Poggi and Evans in the backfield. O'Korn bobbles the snap, rolls out of the pocket's got to throw it away, and does. So that brings up 4th down, and Michigan will punt.
It's not a bad snap, just right on the left side of O'Korn's body. He just kind of dropped it and got incredibly fortunate on the bounce. Kind of hits him right in the hands, slides right through as his eyes were trying to go up, and this is the bounce. I mean, right back to him. That could have been disastrous as Jalen Holmes was in the backfield and ready to pounce.
KJ Hill, the deep man for Ohio State, inside the 30 as Robbins sends it away. Hill over to the sideline, makes the catch at the 36. Dances on the sideline and goes out of bounds as he crosses the 35. A 40-yard punt and a 12-yard return. Noah Furbush pushes him out of play. So Ohio State takes over at their own 47. JT Barrett has been very effective over the last couple of series running the football. Mike Weber lines up. Now motions to the side. Weber. And Weber gets close to midfield. Ryan Monet with the tackle.
They leaned on Barrett on the last series. 6 of their 11 plays where Barrett runs. It's kind of right where they went back to that zone read. Forced the handoff, and wasn't much room for Weber.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8 Barrett runs it himself with another lane, another first down. J.T. Barrett just gashing Michigan now. McCray finally stops him, but it's a gain of 27 yards.
Starts with the double team right here from the tackle, Isaiah Prince. Watch as he comes down to his left and knocks the defensive tackle way down to the ground, and then he moves up and gets another block, at least in the way of Mike McCray, for extra yardage.
Isaiah Prince back in the game after going out. He got his ankle retaped. A terrific block there as Barrett picks up 27. First down at the Michigan 25. Barrett to throw it. Barrett wide open, ball, touchdown, Buckeyes. 25 yards. And just like that, Ohio State with an opportunity to level this game at 14.
What happens here is you're going to get eyes caught in the backfield. You're going to get the safety way off the hash, and then Baugh just takes it right down the middle. He does a great job, and at this point right there, eyes in the backfield. He's beat. Barrett knows it. Barrett delivers a great ball, and Baugh ends up in the end zone for an easy touchdown.
Nurnberger in for the extra point. And it's good. 14-14. Michigan got off to a good start. However, J.T. Barrett said, not on my watch. He leads this Ohio State football team 2 drives, 14 up. Our score at halftime. Right now, let's go down to Rob Stone and the crew on the field. Welcome back to the Big House. Our score at halftime: Ohio State, the 9th-ranked team in the nation, 14. Michigan, 14. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, tale of one half in the first half. Michigan got off to that great start, but Ohio State, led by J.T. Barrett, got right back in this game.
I thought it was great what Michigan did game plan-wise early, because they were so creative with their formations before Barrett got going in the second quarter. -6 total yards in the first quarter. The Michigan defense was all over the field, but Barrett settled down, and maybe more importantly, the offensive line settled down. I would expect Don Brown, the defensive coordinator for Michigan, to get much more attack-oriented in this second half. They kind of stood there static, didn't pressure a lot in the second quarter. I'm sure that's going to change here.
Remember, so much on the line, especially for Ohio State. With the win, they head into the Big Ten Championship next week against Wisconsin. Maybe controlling their own destiny if some things shake down for them in the top of the rankings.
Well, they already got some help there with that Miami loss a week ago, but I can tell you this: Jim Harbaugh is not thinking about Ohio State's playoff chances or even ruining them. He's thinking about what best way he can get his team in position to win this game. Remember, 1-4 in these rivalry games for Jim Harbaugh. Desperately wants to change that trend.
Mike Weber, the deep man for the Buckeyes. And Weber fields it and takes a knee in the end zone. Let's go downstairs to Jenny Taft.
Well, let me tell you guys the energy that was just taking place in that tunnel. Both teams fighting over who would leave the locker room first to get back out here. The excitement from these teams, we're going to see a lot in the second half. And yes, I talked about that momentum. Both coaches addressing it for me. For Urban Meyer, he said we finally started blocking better up front. And he said J.T. Barrett, in big games, we expect it. He has been outstanding for Coach Harbaugh. He said, I talked about the seniors. I said, look who we're playing for. We have 30 minutes. Let's go make something of this game.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. In the first half, Barrett, 11 carries, 64 yards, averaging 5.8 yards per carry. First and 10 of the 25. And it's Barrett running, but he's wrapped up in the backfield. Great tackle, and this time it's Winovich.
Winovich went way up the field and attacked that zone read, and that's exactly what Don Brown, I'm sure, was changing at halftime. And look for these defensive ends in particular to get way up the field and try to attack Barrett early.
No gain on the play. Second down at 10 of the 25. Barrett hands it off Weber straight away, and Weber will gain 9 on the play as he crashes forward into Hudson and Devin Bush.
And this is what makes it so difficult. When you establish the quarterback first, then all of a sudden that interior run game opens wide up for you.
Ohio State quickly to the line of scrimmage looking for the first down, and they won't get it. Michigan defense right there. Rashawn Gary makes the tackle. And Ohio State will have to punt it away.
They were trying to use tempo, but Gary from that left defensive end spot, look at him get off the block. He just shoves Marcus Baugh, the tight end, down to his right, and he comes off as a free rusher and is able to get the ball carrier to the ground. Great stop.
Drew Crispin comes in to punt for the 4th time from his own 20. Donovan Peoples-Jones, the deep man for Michigan. He'll backpedal and has it at the 17 and a flag. Looks like Jeffrey Okudah, the freshman, may have touched Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, and you know, he's been playing so well on the special teams. Jeffrey Okudah, he had 27 kick game snaps a week ago and over 40 points of production, one of the highest Urban Meyer's ever had at Ohio State, and certainly hustling, but just a little too much there.
Kick catching interference, kicking team, number 29, 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Boy, and that's huge because this drive would have started. Here's Okudah, and watch as he's coming. Remember, it's not necessarily contact that's going to force it, even though there was a little bit with that right leg, but getting right into the kind of chest area, and clearly that right arm making contact with the right shin. Good call by the officials there, and that's a big penalty moving the ball outside of the 30-yard line.
So the Wolverines have the ball at the 32 on first down. Hill powers forward. He gains 3.
What they did such a great job of in the first quarter was being creative on first down and just finding positive yardage, because when O'Korn has been in an obvious passing situation, it's not gone well. He's 9 of 16 on the day, 63 yards and a touchdown, but all of his success has been in short yardage situations where they can have the play action and get the fullbacks and tight ends involved.
2nd and 7 at the 35. O'Korn tucks it himself, dives forward, and he's close to a first down. Denzel Ward with the tackle. And he's short by about a half yard.
Showing a little motion there as he tried to lower the shoulder on Denzel Ward. Ward got him to the ground. But now this short yardage situation, this is where they love Khalid Hill, the fullback, just giving it to him, trying to get it across that line to gain.
They need a yard. Hill and Evans in the backfield. Hill spins forward and picks up the first. So John O'Korn, 6'4", 211 pounds, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Started 4 games after Wilton Spate's back injury, but the offense wasn't very effective when he was a starter. He was pulled from the Rutgers game early with a score tied at 7. And then Brandon Peters replaced him. Peters injured last week at Wisconsin. O'Korn back in. 1st and 10 at the 49. Play fake. O'Korn. He has his receiver Crawford with blockers. Crawford! And he goes down inside the 10. Kakoa Crawford got a convoy in front of him.
How about Mason Cole? He gets way out there. Look at this. First he gets the hand up there. Then he turns around, gets another block. He blocked them both and provides the escort down the sidelines for Kakoa Crawford. Nice creative play call for Michigan, and great positive gain now, getting himself into scoring position.
A 43-yard gain for the Wolverines. 1st down and goal at the Ohio State 8. Higdon, the deep man. They give it to him straight ahead. Trying to push forward. Ohio State, though, not yielding on that play, and that'll bring up 3rd down and goal.
Well, this is a crucial play call here. Two things are happening. First, in the mind of the play caller, you're trying to give your quarterback the best possible situation to have success. I think for O'Korn, that's outside of the pocket so that he can burn the ball if it's not there, throw it out of the back of the end zone, or he's got a completion for a touchdown.
Third down and goal at the Ohio State 2. Hill, Higdon in the eye. They give it to Higdon. Touchdown, Michigan.
We get a great block here from the left tackle, Mason Cole. Watch him clear things out, going down to his right, and that opens up the hole, and Higdon's got the one-on-one situation, and he's able to run over the middle linebacker, Tough Borland, get himself into the end zone.
So with 7:07 remaining in the third quarter, Quinn Nordin, his extra point, blocked. (20-14). Will that come back and haunt the Wolverines later? But right now, they lead it. So, Quinn Nordin has his third point after try. As Denzel Ward blocks it. 3 misses for Nordin, PATs this year. 20-14. Our score. As you take a look at the drive, 4 plays covering 51 yards for the Wolverines as they eat up 236. Crawford with that big 43-yard catch. The big play on the drive.
Yeah, set up by a short field, you know, just a short field there, but that is a huge missed extra point. Let's see how it affects the rest of the game.
Mike Weber comes up. He grabs this one at the 10. Weber with a lane, and he's finally chopped down at around the 21-yard line. J.T. Barrett starts at his own 22. Barrett pulls it, and Barrett goes nowhere. Monet right there, and that's a loss of 1 on the play.
That's the 11th rush for Ohio State that has gone for 0 or negative yards today.
Second and 11. Dobbins lines up as a receiver. Barrett steps up. Barrett scrambles. Barrett runs it himself, and Barrett goes down about 2 yards short of the line to gain. Mike McCray trips him up. That's a 10-yard gain.
Not what Ohio State fans want to see. Barrett reaching down towards that right knee.
His backup, Dwayne Haskins. Barrett in some pain.
That just is not what you want to see.
So an interesting twist to this game. The great Ohio State quarterback J.T. Barrett is down. His backup is a redshirt freshman. So here we go. Backup quarterback Dwayne Haskins, 6'3", 214. A redshirt freshman from Potomac, Maryland. In the game for J.T. Barrett. Faced with a 3rd down and 1. Haskins does have experience this year. Hands it off, and it's a 1st down for Dobbins. So here's what happened last week against Illinois. Barrett went out of the game with the score 38-0. Urban Meyer giving Haskins an opportunity to get some burn as Barrett is taken into the locker room. But after Barrett left the game, Haskins came in, failed to elude a tackler on a slick turf, took a hit, fumbled, and watched the ball return for 54 yards. Urban Meyer was so mad about it. He ordered the first team offense back on the field after the ensuing kick, saying later, "I was disappointed. I just didn't want it to turn into a clown show," which it looked like for a minute.
Well, Haskins certainly has some talent, and this symbolism to me is just rich. Remember, it was 2014. Barrett exited this game in the second half. That's what led to Cardell Jones and eventually a national championship for the Buckeyes.
Haskins runs it. Marshall with the tackle. Haskins rated as one of the top 5 pro-style quarterbacks in the nation as a senior at Bullis High School in Potomac.
But the game plan is going to have to change. It's not a quarterback run-oriented offense now. Now it's going to have to be Haskins throwing the ball on the outside of the hash marks and down the field. That's his strength.
And he's got a great arm. 3rd and 5. The throw for the first time. Incomplete. That one thrown high, but a flag. Austin Mack, the intended receiver.
We're going to get Brandon Watson here. He's the corner on the outside, number 28.
Holding. Defense, number 28. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Watson, a backup corner, a senior from Wilmington, Delaware. Excellent special teams player, getting a little run here in the second half of the game. Here he is lined up against Austin Mack. And as Mack goes in towards the inside, that right arm clearly holding down, impeding Mack's ability to get up the field. Clear hold, nice call by the official.
Dwayne Haskins on the season, 34, 50, 471, 4 touchdowns and an interception. Dobbins. And he's wrestled down by Devin Bush.
Well, now the game shifts more from quarterback-centric to offensive line-centric.
So 2nd and 7 at the 47. He's played in 7 games. Haskins reverses, dumps it off. Dobbins with the catch, and he'll go out of bounds. And it's a 4-yard gain.
Good pursuit there from Devin Bush, the middle linebacker. Buckus finalist. He's one of the best linebackers in the country, and you can see why.
3rd down and 13 at the 47. Haskins delivers. Oh, what a catch and what a throw. Austin Mack somehow held on. But Haskins put that ball between 2 defenders. And Kinnell is down.
Kinnell was the safety that came across with the big hit. I mean, just an incredible throw from Dwayne Haskins. This is his skill set. The coaching staff trusted him. Kinnell came across for the big hit.
Injured defensive player.
Leading with the shoulder to the body. Boy.
Fans appreciative of the effort, but you look into the eyes of Dwayne Haskins, and he does not look like this moment is too big for him.
No, and that's what's so important in this situation. You can't go out there and just try to ease yourself into the game. I mean, I know it's difficult. It's not cold, but you're cold as a player. You got to come in there and you got to deliver with confidence, and he certainly did on that last 3rd down.
1st down and 10 of the 26 for Haskins, the new quarterback for Ohio State, with J.T. Barrett in the locker room getting his knee checked out. Haskins has a beautiful arm, folks. He can really rip it. They give it to Dobbins. And Dobbins crosses the line of scrimmage. He'll gain 3 yards on the play. Winovich with the tackle. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Game plan throwing the ball with J.T. Barrett was all on the interior. Inside the hash marks, Marcus Ball was a big part of that. 85, the tight end. And immediately we've seen that ball go outside the numbers a couple of times with Haskins. So Michigan's going to have to adjust to this, because this is a much different offense that they're facing with number 7 at the trigger.
2nd down and 7 of the 23. Haskins, play fake. Haskins in trouble. Haskins decides to run. Haskins with the 1st down and more. Look at the redshirt freshman come in and play ball. Lavert Hill knocks him out of play, but it's a 21-yard gain.
And there's been a few different times when the coverage has been so good down the field, but the defensive backs just unable to come off of their players. and the wide receivers, and it leads to big lanes rushing down the field for the quarterback as he went crashing down out of bounds inside the 1.
First down and goal at the 1. Haskins with Dobbins in the backfield. Dobbins. Touchdown Buckeyes. Just like that, a redshirt freshman comes in the game and leads Ohio State into the end zone for 6. Wait till they get a load of meat.
Oof, what a series. And really all set up with that 3rd and 13 down the sideline to Austin Mack. I mean, just a sensational ball and the confidence, and then stepping up, running it himself down inside the 1-yard line. What a tremendous job by Dwayne Haskins. That's good stuff.
Nurnberger in for the extra point and the lead. And Ohio State goes in front. 1:34 to go in the 3rd. Buckeyes, next man up.
Sense that we could have another one of those kind of 10-year wars, right?
Thank goodness for Urban and Jim, as that ball is kicked out of bounds, and special teams, especially the kickoff, has been a major problem for the Buckeyes this year. McCorn has the talent. Remember, he's a Houston transfer. His freshman season in 2013, he was the American Conference Rookie of the Year when he threw 28 touchdown passes and for over 3,000 yards. Here's O'Corn. Wants to wind up. Now scrambling. Lets it go. Incomplete on the sideline. Michigan wanted a flag. They won't get it. Eddie McDoom, the intended receiver.
Jordan Fuller had some good coverage down that field. I mean, he stayed with him. McDoom was trying to come back to the ball and to the sideline. There's Bosa putting the pressure and applying the pressure in the backfield. And there's Fuller, I mean, all over him. And that ball was really accurately thrown. It's either McDoom or nobody, but unable to haul it in.
2nd down and 10 at the 45. O'Corn looking for a screen, lost it. Loose ball. And Michigan jumps on it. Sam Hubbard in the backfield. Chris Evans with the recovery. And there is a flag.
Holding, offense, number 52, penalties declined, 3rd down.
Declined it after the loss of yardage there. Here, Bosa is going to be working against Mason Cole, and Cole kind of wraps up that helmet and then goes down on him. I didn't think that was a hold. He certainly didn't drag him down to the ground. He didn't throw him down to the ground. He was going to the ground on his own, and then he just jumped on top of him.
So 3rd down and 26 at the 29. They swing it out. Far side, Crawford looking for a block. And he'll get over the 30 before being stood up and taken down. And that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. And how about this, folks? In the game, one of the greatest rivalries in all of sports. We've got a 1-point affair. Ohio State up on Michigan as we head to the 4th. All right, let's take a look at the scoring by quarters. 21-20, Ohio State with the lead.
Huge 2nd quarter, really got this one into a position where we have it now, and then that mixed extra point for Michigan. That's what's looming large here as the difference in the game.
And JT Barrett is walking back on to the Ohio State sideline. Robbins will punt it away from Michigan. KJ Hill back deep at his own 17. And this ball will be downed around the 25. Haskins 2 for 2, 31 yards. He's carried it twice for 24 yards. On 1st down. As Weber wrapped up by Maurice Hurst.
I think that this drive is going to tell you whether Barrett will come back in the game or Haskins will stay. If they retain the momentum and tempo that they had in the previous drives, I might stick with Haskins.
2nd down and 10. Haskins hands it off, and Weber exploding through the hole. Mike Weber gains 6 on the play.
Need a conversion here.
3rd down. They call it 4. Haskins empty backfield. He'll throw it. Haskins on the move, puts it on the money, and watch out, K.J. Hill dives forward, and he's down inside the Michigan 30. Glasgow with the tackle after the 29-yard gain.
And Lavert Hill is in coverage here on K.J. Hill, and K.J. Hill just beats him across the field. And as soon as Lavert Hill's in that trail position, all it takes is an accurate pass. That one was accurate enough, right on that back hip, and Hill was able to reach back, not break stride, and get down the field.
1st down at the Michigan 28 for young Dwayne Haskins, the redshirt freshman from Potomac, Maryland, leading the charge now, with J.T. Barrett going into the locker room with a knee injury at around the 6-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Barrett is back on the field, but you just don't get the feeling that he's going to return.
Yeah, he doesn't have his helmet on, got the overcoat on as he kind of gives a glance to his head coach, Urban Meyer.
2nd and 9. And Haskins keeps it, and he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Winovich there for Michigan.
The last 3rd down on this series, they went with those crossing routes. Remember, Michigan loves to run man coverage in the secondary. To beat that man coverage, you got to get your wide receivers running across the field. Let's see if they do it again here.
Watch Paris Campbell, number 21. He's electric in space. 3rd and 9. At the 27 for Haskins. He'll throw it. Haskins sideline, incomplete. And no flags on the play. Intended for Benjamin Victor. So now Ohio State will bring on the field goal unit with Sean Nurnberger.
Victor has been kind of their one-on-one mismatch over the last few weeks and really developed in this back half of the season, but unable to get clear there. And now they got a kick opportunity.
So Nurnberger, 13 for 15 this year. He started the season 7 for 7, then missed 2 kicks at Maryland. He's 6 for 6 since. And to attempt a 44-yarder. And good. Sean Nurnberger with a 44-yard strike. And Ohio State takes a 4-point lead in the 4th quarter. 24-20, Ohio State on top of Michigan here in the 4th quarter. So Blake Hauble, the freshman, kicks it away. Thomas, and he'll take a knee in the end zone. 10:21 to play in the 4th. Here comes Michigan on offense after this. 2nd down and 16. McCoy throws it up. And whoa, what a catch! Eddie McDoom over the shoulder. 23 yards.
This is just sensational stuff from McDoom. Watch how late he goes up with his hands. I mean, right at the last second, he kind of just reaches up with his hands. What that does is it doesn't allow Damon Arnett in coverage to know when that ball is going to be there. So he couldn't get his hands up to defend the ball or stick it through the hands of McDoom and create an incompletion. That's a great job from McDoom. Boy, those late hands were terrific.
Eddie McDoom, a sophomore from Winter Garden, Florida. 1st down, Wolverines at the 43. Here's the handoff to Higdon. He'll get outside, up the sideline, skipping and hopping. Knocked out by Tough Borland, but a gain of 9.
Boy, that's just a huge completion and catch by McDoom that establishes some rhythm, and then they come right back, and that's a big positive gain for a 2nd down now. On 2nd and short, on the plus side of the 50, that's always where I expect a big play action, potentially trying to get the ball down the field. When they do that, they try to target the true freshman Donovan Peoples-Jones.
2nd down and 1 for John O'Corn, and he'll hand it off to Evans. 1st down, Wolverines. Chris Worley with the tackle.
1st down, Michigan.
what a big series this is for Michigan to try to answer that scoring drive of Ohio State. They have played, I would say, even better on offense today than most expected them to play. They certainly hadn't shown this level of efficiency with a quarterback during the course of the season, and against a defense like this, they're playing very well.
First down to the Ohio State 45. Closing in on 8 minutes. And Higdon. Karan Higdon down at the 37.
Well, the second half been a bit back and forth. Michigan did a great job early establishing themselves, getting a couple of plays. Higdon goes in for the 2-yard score, but the extra point was blocked by Ohio State. Denzel Ward on the outside. JT Barrett went down with that knee injury.
And Michigan running the football.
John O'Gorman tipped the ball. Went down to the 39-yard line.
And that will be
3rd down and 4.
a loss of 3 on the play.
Trying to use quick tempo there, and he just got stepped on by the guard as he was coming around. Might have even been the center, and he just dropped back on his butt.
3rd down and 4 at the 39. John O'Corn looking underneath and incomplete. That ball was deflected.
Jerome Baker got his hands on it. What a great job from Baker. He just stood there in his linebacker spot, read the eyes of the quarterback. He wasn't on a blitz. He just rose up, batted that ball down, got his hand on it.
So on 4th down and 4, looks like the Wolverines are going to go for it.
No man's territory right there, just across the 40-yard line.
6:58 remaining in the 4th. Jim Harbaugh's team down by 4. Poggi, Evans in the backfield. Here's O'Corn over the middle. Incomplete, and Michigan turns it over on downs. Evans on his back. Damon Webb in coverage. Ohio State with the lead and the ball when we return. Dwayne Haskins in for JT Barrett. Hands it off to J.K. Dobbins. And Dobbins won't find any running room. Winovich, Monet combining on the tackle.
Because of that, I would expect lots of pressure from Don Brown, the defensive coordinator, trying to create a long yardage situation on 3rd down, force this game onto the shoulder of Dwayne Haskins, the inexperienced quarterback for the Buckeyes.
Haskins, 2 drives, 2 scores. He's 3 of 4 for 60 yards. 2nd and 10. Pitches it. Dobbins finds the edge, lowers his shoulder. And he's stopped by Metellus after a 3-yard pickup. Big 3rd down coming up now for Ohio State and for Michigan.
Huge
3rd and 7 at the 42.
Huge, partner. And every time that Michigan's in this type of situation, they tend to love the pressure, trying to get the ball out of the hand of the quarterback and come up and tackle.
3rd and 7 at the 42 for Dwayne Haskins, the redshirt freshman from Potomac, Maryland. He's been excellent in for JT Barrett. Haskins to throw. Haskins underneath. 1st down. KJ Hill. Sideline. KJ Hill still going. And was he out of bounds? I think he stepped out of bounds. And they marked the ball. Let's see.
There's that left
at the 34-yard line. A 24-yard pickup.
The crossing route again. Same as the last series. That same route went for a big play to KJ Hill, and again, on a big moment, they get the crosser. Nice accurate ball from Haskins. That's a huge conversion there for the Buckeyes.
But how about this kid? Redshirt freshman playing in the big game. The game. He's calm and collected. 1st down. Dobbins. A freshman as well. And Dobbins picks up 2. Monet with the tackle.
I tell you what, I mean, there has been some big third down completions from Dwayne Haskins, and he's not flinching at all in the face of some of that pressure. They brought the blitz. He's got man-to-man coverage, and he just delivers a strike for Urban Meyer. Great conversion several times today for number 7.
Second down and 8 at the 32. 4:20 to go. Haskins underneath and throws another strike, this time to Paris Campbell, who's about a half yard to a yard short of the first down. Tell you what, this kid is coming in, and he has been brilliant.
Got to tell you, man, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line, right? A little different formula than what you're going to use with J.T. Barrett, but he's come in on all these inside breaking routes over the middle, the crossing routes against man coverage. He's been on point. Here on a big third down, I would expect that this is going to be leaning on the offensive line.
Buckeyes need a yard on 3rd down and 1. Weber in the backfield. He's their power back. Michigan crowding the line of scrimmage, and they'll get him behind the line of scrimmage. Gary.
Well, when you don't have the threat of the quarterback run, the defensive end can come crashing down from the outside. Haskins gives the ball, but Gary is right there. Both ends, both edges crashing down, knowing that Weber is the likely ball carrier. They're able to stop him for a loss.
So Nurnberger, who has already been successful from 44 yards out, will attempt another 44-yarder. Buckeyes with the 24-20 lead. High snap, handled, got it up, and he missed it. He hooked it. 2:47 to play. 24-20. Michigan turns back the Buckeyes, and they'll have the football. Two minutes and 47 seconds remaining. Michigan down by 4. First down at their own 27. Play fake. O'Korn throws deep. Intercepted by Ohio State. Jordan Fuller with the ball. And the Buckeyes are out of bounds at midfield. The first turnover of the game. But there is a flag at the 33-yard line.
After the interception, personal foul, late hit on the intercepting team. Number 6, 15-yard penalty. First down, Ohio State.
Ohio State with the football. O'Korn, where was he throwing this part?
Well, first of all, he got disguised out of this throw. They're going to run a safety back in the middle of the field. At this point right here, the post turns into a hook. That's a read route. O'Korn didn't read it properly. The wide receiver did. And O'Korn throws it deep as if he's going to get a long pass, but you can't throw that into a middle safety. That's why identification in the post snap is so important, and he never got his eyes up and saw the safety take off to the middle of the field.
So Ohio State with the football at the 34. Michigan with 2 timeouts. Haskins, the redshirt freshman, came in at the 6-minute mark of the 3rd quarter for J.T. Barrett. Dobbins, here we go. J.K. Dobbins down at the Michigan 30. Ohio State with a 36-yard gain.
Boy, what a block by Billy Price from his center position. Watch him come out, lead around. Here's the key block. Boom, right there on the Buckeyes finalist, Devin Bush. Dobbins cuts off of it back towards the middle of the field, and it's a big gainer for the Buckeyes. This kid, I tell you what, these freshmen, should I say, one red shirt, one true, are showing out in the second half of the game.
Dobbins, 14 carries, 95 yards and a touchdown. First down to the 31 for the Buckeyes. Dobbins running left. Dobbins with room, and wisely as a freshman he stays in bounds and keeps the clock moving.
Yeah, and that's going to force Jim Harbaugh to take a timeout with 1:50 left.
24-20, Ohio State. Here's a team that has beaten Michigan 5 straight times, 12 out of the last 13. They're a minute and 50 seconds away from making it 6 in a row. Wolverines with 1 timeout left. 2nd and 4 at the 25. Weber. And Weber picks up a first down. Weber racing to the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
He's got to beat one guy. This is the explosion that Urban Meyer's been talking about with a healthy Mike Weber. Josh Metellus is a free player on the defensive side, and he was one-on-one. Metellus is going to come into the right side of your screen, but watch as Mike Weber breaks the line of scrimmage. Here's Metellus right there, and then it's just a foot race, and he just totally beats him to the corner and into the end zone. What a great run.
Extra point is up and good. Urban Meyer telling us this week about Mike Weber. He's 100% healthy now. Nobody catches him from behind. He's running like the guy we were bragging about all summer. 31-20 Bucks. They're beating their chests in Columbus because the Buckeyes lead at 31-20 with 1:44 remaining. And I get the feeling that if Ohio State holds on to win this game, they're going to be Bama fans as soon as they get on the bus.
And I know you probably don't want to admit it in Columbus. I know, like, you're sitting there thinking to yourself right now, you're on the couch. I get it. I hear you. But you're Bama fans tonight. If Bama wins out, that puts Ohio State in a really good position to potentially control their own destiny next week in Indianapolis.
Here's Thomas. And Thomas is taken down at the 11-yard line. All right, thank you very much. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. And the Wolverines hand it off to Evans. Evans looking for the first down. He has it as he gets out of bounds. And the clock stops at 1:32.
Well, they need a big play quickly. You know, you still need, I would say, to realistically still be in this at 11 points. The deficit, you need to score by about 40 or 45. So you got to get this ball down the field in a hurry.
First down. O'Corn. Incomplete.
And I think today, magnifies maybe the frustration that Wolverines fans have had over the last couple of years, where in these big games, you know, they just don't have that guy at the trigger position that makes the plays in the crucial moments. And Wilton Spate had his struggles in this game a year ago in Columbus, and O'Corn with a couple of mistakes today, not hitting open receivers, and then that last interception certainly is not helping their cause.
2nd down and long. O'Corn drops it off. Evans needs to get out of bounds and will not. Denzel Ward with the tackle. 3rd down and 14.
And with only one timeout and them not taking it there, that's a bit of a white flag unless they can hit lightning in the bottle right here.
3rd and 14. O'Corn over the middle. Evans with the reception. Evans picks up the first down. And the clock stops at 37 seconds.
No foul, face mask, defense number 11, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
He was trying to get to O'Corn and just kind of reached out with his left hand and then part of his right. Watch O'Corn's head is going to kind of jerk over to the left right there. There's that face mask with the left hand. Excellent call by the official.
Michigan, this is one of the youngest offensive groups they've had in years. They lost 3 receivers to the NFL, and they have 3 new starters on the offensive line from a pool that had 1 combined start before this season. A record 7 players in last year's Senior Bowl, so they're very young.
They replaced all but 1 starter on defense. They were the 127th ranked experienced team coming into the season. Basically, they're one of the most least experienced teams in the country. Quite frankly, with starting 3 different quarterbacks, I think 8 wins is pretty good, but that's not the way they're going to think here in Ann Arbor.
Corn fires it out wide, and that's Higdon. He gets out of bounds with 24 seconds remaining, but I agree with you, partner. The bottom line for Jim Harbaugh, he's got to find a quarterback.
Yeah, and it's because of games against this team. You know, this is the team, this is the standard that they're going to have to try to reach in this Big Ten East. And this Michigan team now is going to go to 1-5 against Michigan State and Ohio State under Jim Harbaugh. Listen, I understand there was a drop punt snap last year, a very questionable spot on 4th down. I understand all of those things, but the bottom line is it's going to 1-5. And that trend is going to have to turn around for Jim Harbaugh here in the next couple of years.
O'Corn. And he's sacked again by the Rushman. Chase Young. Nick Bosa. First and 10 at the 35. O'Corn. And O'Corn sacked again. Sam Hubbard in on it. 5th sack of the day for the Buckeyes. And that will take us to the end of the game. Ohio State prevails. Game was tied at 14 at halftime. Their quarterback, J.T. Barrett, goes out at the 6-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. A redshirt freshman, Dwayne Haskins, comes in and balls out. And the Buckeyes defeat the Wolverines in the game, 31-10. Urban Meyer now 3-0 against Jim Harbaugh. The Buckeyes, winners of 6 in a row. 13 of the last 14 in the Michigan-Ohio State series.
Final score is Ohio State 31, Michigan 20.
All right, let's go downstairs to Jenny Taft with Coach Meyer.
Coach, congratulations. Oh, congratulations to all you guys. Undefeated against Michigan. How do you continue to have such success in this rivalry?
I can't imagine many people respect it more than we do. We respect our opponent. We respect how hard they play. And one way to show great respect, you practice your tail off and get ready for a tough game.
I got to ask you about both your quarterbacks tonight. J.T. Barrett, he makes history. 4 wins against Michigan. Then you got Dwayne Haskins, comes in. What a performance from the freshman and his composure. What did you make of it?
I thought it was elite, and I thought our tailbacks and offensive line really controlled the game to go win it. But Dwayne made some incredible plays down the stretch.
Do you know about his status, JT's status for next week's big game?
I do not.
Well, for all of you guys, enjoy this. Thanks, Coach.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. The final score in Ann Arbor, Ohio State defeats Michigan 31-20. Rob Stone and the guys will be back with more post-game coverage from Ann Arbor after these messages.